feudalism started in the 17th century. Started in France, which is in Europe, near Germany. Isn't that right, Christian?
Club Jiggy.
In feudalism, the lands were split up and given out to noble lords. Peasants had no choice but to farm the land for their own protection. Let's watch.
In feudal society, the king held a very high position. The peasant, on the other hand, was the low man on the totem pole. He entered into a feudal agreement willingly, however, with the king.
Feudalism.
While they were still provided with food and housing, peasants were forced to do their king's bidding. Peasants, also known as vassals, had to go through a special ceremony before they were able to live on the king's land. They had to pledge their allegiance to their king and swear to fight for him if need be. This oath was called an oath of fealty. In feudal society, the clergy held a high position, and the church was infallible. There was no debating or questioning of the church. This system carried on until the French Revolution was able to bring it to an end. Let's watch! During King's rule in France, there was much talk of drafting a constitution and taking away the power of the monarchy. However, King Louis kept postponing this issue, which caused many French civilians to become suspicious of government activity. Their suspicion kept rising and eventually led to a public outbreak. On July 14th, 1789, there was a public display of rebellion, which eventually led to the public execution of many political figures.
Révolutionnaire!
Alright.
Vive la révolution! Rah! 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 La révolution! Vive le roi! Vive le roi! Vive le roi! Vive le Manche! Vive le Manche! Vive le
A BBC production presents Joan of Arc, Part 1 of 5.
Oh, hello there. I didn't expect you tonight. Yes, Joan of Arc. She was an amazing woman. Her house was just set in an area just like this at the edge of a rolling field. At the age of only 9, her house was taken over by the massive Burgundian tribe. Ah, yes, there was a battle here. It was a fierce one. The house was burnt. I'm sorry. My passion for history really takes over my body sometimes. I'm sorry about that. Hello again. Yes, it was about 1427 when we left off. She was signed up for her first military conference, only to be unsuccessful. She returned a year later with some support from some locals, and she gained her first leading role in a battle. It was a small skirmish, but it had potential. Joan of Arc was a very true woman. Her performance on the battlefield truly resembled her religious beliefs. One quote she stated in her early years was, "I have the spoken word of God." Perhaps this is her car.
Joan of Arc!
She had very strong, mentally rooted beliefs in her fights. Unlike this blasted bicycle rack. See this here sign? Has nothing to do with Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc lost many a battle in her day. Time after time she would lose, but the year was 1429, April 31st. She was waiting word from King Charles VII on whether or not she would command the finest battle in all history. This was her only chance. There was only one thing she could do. Her final battle came at the Siege of Orleans. It was her one chance to redeem herself after a completely failed military career. The result? A complete victory. She had done it. After leading France to one of the biggest, finest battles in all French history, there was only one thing she wanted. It was to keep fighting. About 3 days later, she competed in another skirmish, only to be another failure. She was captured after getting shot in the shoulder with an arrow. After about a year, she was brought to a trial, unjust of course, but burned at the stake as a result. Well, hello again. For more information on Joan of Arc, visit Joan of Arc database 397.450.joanofarc.com.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Si, tu vois, c'est...
Ah! This is an old feudalistic custom.
Go.
Can't laugh! You can't laugh!
In feudal society, the clergy held a high position. And, as well, the church was infallible. There was no debating with the church. Sam, I can't.
Okay, yeah! Joan of Arc was a true fighter. Her performance on the battlefield clearly resembled her religious values and beliefs. She spoke many greater quotes in her